Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of the Sexy Thyroid Solution. I'm your host, Angela Brown. So today I want to talk about pregnancy and slow thyroid problems. But if you could do me a really big favor, if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, subscribe to my channel and then hit that little bell so you get a notification every Thursday when I release my new video. And if you're watching this on another social media platform like Instagram or Facebook, maybe even LinkedIn, go ahead and share this, like this, maybe tag someone that would benefit from this. So let's go ahead and dive in here. This is a topic that I've actually been questioned about a lot more recently because there's been several women coming to me that have had issues with either getting pregnant, thinking about getting pregnant, and they struggle with a slow thyroid. So I wanted to kind of dive into this a little bit more in detail. I figured a video would be the easiest way to do this. First of all, whenever your thyroid is not functioning properly, that can cause issues with ovulation. It can always cause issues with sex hormones. There's such a massive connection between your thyroid, between your adrenals, and between your sex hormones. So whenever you start having issues with your thyroid, that can actually affect ovulation. And I see this very commonly. And I actually myself had this issue when I was trying to get pregnant with my son, who is now almost 16. I was struggling with a really, really crappy thyroid. And during that time, it was really easy for me to see that my hormones were kind of completely out of whack during that time of trying to get pregnant. So I can definitely see a pattern where if you do have issues with a slow thyroid, that can start altering your ability to ovulate and obviously get pregnant. The other thing too is during pregnancy, it can be very risky during pregnancy if the thyroid is just completely bottomed out. You're having issues with keeping your energy levels up, all those things. When the thyroid gets really, really sluggish, and it can sometimes get worse during pregnancy, that can cause a lot of risk for the baby and the pregnancy in general. One thing also to keep in mind is actually during the first trimester of pregnancy, it is really, really important to make sure that the thyroid is functioning properly during this time. This is the time when a lot of their neurological, cognitive, all the development of the baby is happening, and it's going to rely on the thyroid hormone of mom a lot during this time. So that's why it's super important. For one, if you're trying to get pregnant, I always recommend to have a thyroid panel done. And we're talking a full thyroid panel because you really want to see what your thyroid's doing prior to get pregnant, because that can actually play a role in how things happen getting pregnant and during pregnancy as well. Full thyroid panel is going to look like TSH, free T3, free T4, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies. I would get a full panel because you really want to get a big picture of what the thyroid's doing. This is very important. Again, you want to see what's going on here prior to getting pregnant. The other thing to also keep in mind is when you're trying to conceive as well, your TSH number, the general rule is you're going to see a lab that's going to say, oh, as long as it's, not above 5, that's okay. Actually, that's not okay. I haven't seen any single female that I've worked with that was getting pregnant, trying to get pregnant, or was pregnant, where their TSH number, when it was above a 2, they felt terrible. And it was sometimes even hard to get pregnant. So I actually always recommend when you're trying to conceive to make sure that TSH number is like 2 or below. For me personally, I can't even function not being pregnant with my TSH above a 1. I just feel terrible. So I do recommend to get that TSH number checked if you're trying to conceive and to, like I said, make sure that number gets below a 2, because that's going to be super important for ovulation. It's going to be super important for the pregnancy in general, the beginning stages of the pregnancy. That cognitive and neurological development is so important that first trimester. And so when your TSH number is looking really good and that thyroid's functioning normal, the baby's going to be so much healthier. So those are kind of my big tips that I really wanted to hone in on when it comes to the connection between thyroid and pregnancy. And the other thing is diet. Diet's a tough one. When you're pregnant, I've been there. Sometimes you just don't feel like eating healthy. It's really difficult to do that. I will tell you that for me personally, my thyroid did so much better when I did try to eat as healthy as I could during my pregnancy. Again, it's not easy to do. I totally, completely understand that. But I will say my pregnancy particularly when it got into that last trimester, I was really worried about how my thyroid was going to do because it was not doing the best when I got pregnant. So I was a little concerned that it was going to be really bad during, the pregnancy and at the end. And I tried to eat as clean as I could. Obviously, it's easier said than done when you're pregnant. But I will say that that last trimester, my thyroid did so much better when I really tried to be as good as I could, tried to feed the baby as healthy as I could. During that first, second trimester, that third trimester was so much better. And my thyroid numbers actually sort of almost normalized a little bit better even during that last trimester. So if that helps you at all, that's some other tips that I do sort of recommend when it comes to pregnancy and slow thyroid. So like I said, you have to get checked. I do recommend always, if you're trying to conceive, get a full thyroid panel done. You want to see what that's doing before you're getting pregnant. And the other thing too is during your first trimester, you want to get it checked again. During that first trimester, maybe kind of towards mid-trimester, first trimester, I would maybe get it checked then. If you don't have any thyroid problems at all, you're probably good to go the rest of pregnancy without that. If you actually do have thyroid problems prior to conceiving, and then during your pregnancy, you need to stay on top of it. I had my thyroid checked almost every month during my pregnancy. Because I was, like I said, I was really worried about what was going to happen with the baby. I was taking my medication. I was scared that I was going to have to up my medication and what was I going to do to the baby. So I really kind of honed in on my diet and lifestyle during the pregnancy so that I didn't have to budge much on the medication. But like I said, during pregnancy, I stayed on top of it. I was getting it checked at least every month, maybe every 6 weeks during the actual pregnancy. So I would recommend that too. If you know you have a thyroid issue already going into the pregnancy, I would recommend that. Okay. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. Let me know if you have any more questions about that. I mean, I've been there. I struggled all through my pregnancy with hypothyroidism. And like I said, I did pretty good at keeping it under control. So if you have more questions about that, let me know. I'm more than happy to chat with you about that. I will also say that I'm super excited that my group program is launching in January. It will begin on January 18th. First video will be on the 19th. It will be live calls for 12 weeks in a row. We're going to have live learning. We're going to have live Q&As. Super excited about this. So if you want to get in on this, the cart's going to be open here soon, probably around January 7th-ish. I'm going to open the cart for that for purchase. And then, like I said, we will start the course then. The program is going to start on the 18th. It'll be open, and then the first class will be on the 19th will be the first live call. So any questions about that, let me know. I do have a link below that you can get on that wait list so that you can get first dibs to join in on that program and get signed up because, like I said, I'm going to have limited space with this. So hope you guys have an amazing day. If you have any questions, reach out and we'll chat soon in the next video. Bye.